All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, all honors, and all glories unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kodash. Double honors to my apostles, my elders, the very millstone. They're doing it real well. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the members of the elect, the elect of the 1/3. To you I say Shalom. This is Brother Dawadah from GMS Detroit Camp, coming at you with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kodash. Today I want to do another in transit. The title of this video will be ICE protests in LA. Don't be deceived. The Lord's will of this video will be edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. Now you see, or you saw the clip concerning the whole ICE protests over there in Los Angeles. Now, I'm not sure if it was on YouTube or Instagram. It might have been Instagram, to be honest. I saw a really nice clip. Yeah, it must have been on Instagram. But there was a really nice clip that showed, Edomite kind of breaking it down, or what appeared to be Edomite, I should say. He was breaking it down, pretty much saying that, there's a whole lot of bricks being, quote unquote, randomly, placed around Los Angeles, around where these protests are happening. And it's no coincidence, which they've done that before, right? And it's becoming more and more evident, concerning these different things that Esau sets up, his crisis actors, all right, the different ploys that he uses to, deceive the people. Like how the hell you got a protest going on? And there was one video I saw on Instagram with, let that madness go by. There was one clip I saw on Instagram where you had a series of cops they parked their vehicles underneath a bridge of a freeway, which was an easy, all right, access point for people to throw, to throw things down on the, them. So I'm looking at it, I'm just like, this is clearly a setup. I'm looking like this is clearly set up. They were told they had to have been told, they being the police and whatnot, not to retaliate, because there ain't no way they parked their vehicles in a convenient place where they could throw rocks, or they all right, so not only did they park their vehicles conveniently under the freeway, but there's even scenes where, these protesters, they're just flat out, cursing out these state troopers, these police officers straight out to their face. And the police ain't making out one arrest. I think I saw one arrest out of all the madness going on in LA. I've seen only one arrest be made. And then you have different news outlets, dramatizing, if that's even how you say it, dramatizing, that one arrest. They're like, oh my God, they're dragging him away. Oh my, And I'm looking like this is a big old, soap opera. Now there's one clip that I saw, and you have this governor. I think it was the governor. No, she was a congresswoman. She's a congresswoman of Los Angeles, And she was saying, look, we gonna escalate these protests. Because we pushing these police officers back. We gonna escalate. You know, and I'm looking like this is such a setup. You know, they want these people to riot. They want these people to bring chaos, you know, and to cause chaos. They want that because that justifies them in bringing the order. Now you have DJ Trump. He just deployed 700 troops, all right, over there to stop that uprising. You know, and it ain't there's bricks being conveniently laid for these people. The cops, they ain't Billy clubbing them. The cops are pretty much on standby. They park their cars directly over a bridge where people can throw rocks. You know, the scripture says we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. So while these uprisings of the people are going on, because the scriptures speak about that in 2 Ezra, the 9th chapter, concerning the uprising of the people. This is just another uprising of the people. All right? So it's important for us to stay vigilant. You know, scripture says, be sober, be vigilant. All right? When you're vigilant, you're watching. All right? We ought to be watching. Scripture speak about being circumspect. The word circum meaning around, and spect meaning to look. So it literally means to look around you. All right? So we're looking around ourselves to see, okay, if Esau has this major distraction going on, what sneaky mischief is Esau Edom up to? That's how we have to think. All right? It's like it. If this madness is going on, what sneaky mischief is the so-called white man actually getting into? That's how we have to look at these different distractions. All right? Because that's nothing more than a distraction. Because if they really wanted those protesters to stop, they would have been stopped already. Then there's different clips where people are looting stores. It shows you the folly. Some of those individuals, they're more than likely, hire it up, to stir up chaos. So we're going to see where these uprisings are going to lead to. We're going to keep being vigilant. We're going to also look out in the news and alternative news outlets to see what else is going to happen. What are they trying to distract us from? All right? That's how these devils get down. The scripture says that, once again, 2 Corinthians 2:11, we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. All right? His problem, reaction, solution, his order ab chaos. All right? Order out of chaos. We're not ignorant of any of these things. All right? This knowledge is truth has quickened us up. It's made us wise. So when we see these different things in the news, we filter it through the scriptures. Okay, the scripture says there's going to be uproars of the people. All right? Okay, the scriptures speak about civil unrest. The scriptures speak about martial law. This is the time period that we're living in. Things are going to get a whole lot worse. And there's going to be even more uprisings of the people. There's going to be even more disorder, even more confusion, even more protests. Okay? So with that, I'm going to leave it there. We're going to keep watching how this story will unfold. What else they got planned. All praises, all honors, and all glories be unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh, for awakening our eyes and awakening our minds and giving us this knowledge of truth. These different jakes that are out here rioting and looting, which I don't see how the hell looting is you protesting, and then they're foolish. The scripture says that my people is foolish, they have not known me. They are all sottish children. Sottish means stupid. You're looting out of your very same community. And looting only lasts, that looting and rioting madness, it don't last for too long. It ain't going to be 6 months of this looting and rioting. No. This kind of thing comes and it goes. So here it is. After you then got done destroying your community, after the looting and rioting goes down, after Jake gets them some chicken, then after that, you're going to have to go right back to them same communities that you just destroyed. Then now what? Now your foolish self, all right, now you're down to Best Buy. You're down to Foot Locker. You're down to a Costco's, a Sam's Club, or wherever the heck else they looted. Now you're down these different stores. Now you got to drive to where the Edomites are at, because you know those communities ain't touched. So now you have to drive even further out to get those same things that you would have got locally within your community. But because you were foolish, you chose to loot your own community. Now you're down these different places. And these Edomites, they've studied Jake to a T. They know that Jake likes confusion. Jake likes uproars. All right? Esau even got to throw it all on the news. Jake is the #1 newsman. Because what happens as soon as some type of drama, chaos, all right, destruction, death, anytime these things happen, there's always a goofy Jake with a smartphone out recording. And you'll see within certain clips, there'll be individuals with their smartphones out recording. All right? Recording these different uproars, these different riots. And you'll be looking like, wait a minute, here it is. You don't think you can get hurt? You over here recording. But that's the foolishness of our people. That's why 2/3 got to go. And you protested for ICE. DJ Trump said, I believe it was either today or yesterday, he said he's going to tell ICE to crack down harder on you Jakes. He wants ICE to go harder on you Jakes. It is your protest. You think you're doing something. He wants you to protest. He wants you to loot your own community. So we're going to see how this unfolds. Praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh, Shemel Shai, the blood of my apostles and elders. Peace and blessings to the elect. With that being said, Shalom.